you so much for tuning in to a News You Can Use podcast. Wherever you are tuning in, please leave us a review and a rating. It helps us so much to be discovered by others like yourselves. So if this episode resonated with you, leave us a review and a rating wherever you're listening. Share the podcast with 5 other people. Thank you so much.
Welcome to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. Welcome, Dr. V. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. I feel good. I
Good.
can't complain either. Very grateful.
That-
So you are on a News You Can Use podcast, and I want to tell everybody about Dr. V. Dr. Vernessa Blackwell is the CEO of the Grief Helpline and VSB Publishing LLC, a retired non-commissioned officer from the U.S. Army. Dr. Blackwell served proudly for 24 years, where she trained thousands of soldiers to excel in their careers. In 2012, Dr. V invested in herself to become a certified grief and joy restoration coach. Dr. V positioned herself as the best selling book strategist. She is an international best selling author and public speaker, travel service provider, and publishing coach. BSB Publishing has created the best selling strategies book system to help her clients become best selling authors in record breaking time, inspiring them to first believe in their dreams and manifestation of becoming a published author. She believes that everyone has a story to share. Has helped over 300 Dr. V has helped over 300 authors become best-selling authors. Dr. V's zone of genius is where she helps authors to become bestsellers and helps her clients to restore joy. Dr. V guides startup authors on how to build a sustainable brand with books and products. As a publisher, she specializes in author branding, book coaching, and publishing. Woo! First of all, thank you for your service, Dr. V.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your service. And tell us more about yourself. Tell us who you are. Give us some historical background, who you are, and tell us about where you from and where you at now.
Mm. Okay, so I'm known as Dr. V. My name is Vernessa Blackwell. I am known as Dr. V. I got my honorary doctorate in March of last year.
Woo woo.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Yeah, I'm a mom, a widow. Um, I have 2 daughters, 2 adult daughters. They're both grown, and so pretty much what I do now, help little grands out and be there for my daughters. I'm retired Army. Um, I retired in 2017. Um, I lost all my siblings, so that's kind of what started my journey into writing. I had 3 sisters and a brother. They all
Mm-hmm.
passed away, and both my parents are deceased, so I'm the last one left out of 5.
Oh wow. My
Hmm.
condolences to you.
Thank you.
So
Um,
how go ahead, please. So how did you transition from, well, tell me this. When you were in the military, did you ever think about being an author? Was that like writing? Was that a thing was that a practice that you always been doing, or is that a new thing? Dr. V, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Could you hear me? Now I can. I couldn't hear you at first.
Oh, okay. I said yes. I was when I was in the military, I started writing in the military. I started doing collaboration books first. But I used to write a lot as a kid, kind of got away from it, as an adult. And in 2012, I was thinking about, start my exit plan. What was I going to do after I retire? And I got an opportunity to be in a couple of collaborations, so I wrote in those because you only had to turn in a chapter, and I loved that.
Oh, I can't hear you anymore.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, in 2012, I got an opportunity to be a co-author in Spiritual Disciplines, volumes 3 and 4, and that's kind of what's really started my journey. But I was HR while I was in the military, human resources for my entire career, so everything admin over there.
Nice.
hmm
Very nice. And so I know Dr. V because I met you virtually on Facebook. You were promoting one of your collaboration books that you were publishing, and you're asking, you're asking for a call for authors. And so that was in 2021 for your Finding Joy in the Journey Volume 2.
hmm
And it was a very exciting opportunity, to be a part of a project where 90 people were involved. So did you, when you first started doing collaboration books, Dr. V, did you, like yourself, did you start with 90, or did you start with a smaller number? Like, how did you build up to 90 people in books?
So the first one I did was Your Wings Were Ready, but my heart was.
Mm. And how many authors was wrote in for that anthology? Dr. V.
Yes, we did a chapter in Your Wings Were Ready. Everybody had a chapter, and it was 20 authors. Hello.
20 authors. Okay, okay. So
hmm
that was the first book that you put out.
Yes. As a visionary.
Right, as the visionary. Yeah, that's
hmm
exactly what I'm asking.
hmm
Okay. And so wow, like I don't want to ask what's that process like, but kind of what's that process like for you? Like to really deal with, because you're not only dealing with your own writing, but you're dealing with other people's writings, and dealing with their own other people's time and their personalities, and what is all of that like?
Well, I love it. I actually do because to me it's like
Uh-oh, I lost you.
someone to write a book. So I love it. I love the process. I love working with new authors and explaining some of the tips and tools that you need to be an author. So I really enjoy working with them.
I know you do. I'm a testimony to that you do enjoy working with the authors. I am a testimony to that. You can really tell that you have a passion for it.
Yeah. Mhm.
So tell us about your publishing company.
So right now I'm working on another project for with 365, and I started my publishing company because that's where I plan to move off into after I launch. Dro-
What'd you say?
I started BSB Publishing um to help people publish books and self-publish. So this is after this one, I'm going to shut the door for a minute on collaborations, and I'm going to help people, publish their books and do self-publishing.
Yes, because
hmm
there are so many people needing help. Like I see so many posts in the authors groups on Facebook people's, they got an idea, or they might even have a book written up, but they don't know which way to go. I can even attest to, needing some help. So,
Mhm.
definitely that's where it's at.
Mhm.
And then tell us more about you being a certified grief and joy restoration coach. What does that mean, Dr. V?
Yeah, I said I got grief coach certified in 2012. I kind of got a grief coach certified because I was losing so many family members, and I was trying to figure out a way to help. How was I going to help everybody? So I had to learn some techniques for myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2014, my youngest sister was the last to pass, and God brought me back to my grief coach certification and said that it wasn't about me. It was about, that's what I was called to do. And so I was like, wow. So I picked it up, the grief coach and the joy restoration portion, because it's a dual certification. And I realized that, when I was doing grief coaching, because of so many people, we lost so many people during COVID. I was like, I, can be in every home, or, help every person one on one. But if I
Mm-hmm.
create some products for them, I can help them because my products can go places that I can't go.
Right.
And so I created a grief kit. So I actually have a kit now for people that's dealing with grief and loss.
What does that entail?
And so it's a devotional, a workbook. It has a coloring book because a lot of times people who dealing with grief cannot concentrate. So coloring helps heal. It has a journal. Um, because a lot of times, when you're struggling with grief, if you jot down those feelings and triggers and things like that, it'll help you, to get through the process. Um, and I like little note cards and stuff like that in it. But it's $97, and I sell the grief kit. And I partner with a lot of funeral homes, and they get my grief kit to give to their clients as well.
Oh, I love that.
Hmm.
Do you want to bring balance to all the wireless radiation fields in your life, including 5G? The Omnia Radiation Balancer is a small sticker you can stick on any device. It changes the state of the field and creates a new resonance between the wireless radiation and your energy field. On the link below, you'll see all our testing results that show how the body responds excellently once you've made this change in your life. Plus, you can enter the discount code BBE in capital letters for a 10% discount. It's easy to bring balance back to your body with the Omnia Radiation Balancer.
I love that. That's so needed.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful because you basically transform your pain into a catalyst to help others.
Right. Hmm.
I love that. I love that. I love that because you could have just sat on the grief and just wallowed and lost yourself.
Right.
And so, how did you keep yourself from doing that?
Well, through writing and through coaching my clients. Because, like I said, when I work with people, I mean, a lot of 'em work with my clients. A lot of them say, theirs is fresh, and mine, I haven't had with my youngest sister, 2014. But the love of my life was killed in a car accident in 2007. I lost a lot. I had a lot of aunts and uncles, and I only had one left for my mom. She had 13. It was 13 of them. It's only one left. So it was like we have been through a lot of grief and loss. So he was like, "Well, how are you still standing?" And I said, "Well, you look at it as it's a debt we all got to pay one day, and we just don't never know when. But we try to do, figure out what is our purpose. And I found out through writing that was what I was born to do. So I write about and talk to people about grief and loss, and write to keep balance because grief can be heavy.
Right,
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. I love that though. I really love that.
Mhm.
You transformed yourself, and then you help others to do the same. I love that.
Thank you.
So I created a interview series a while back called Black Influencers Values, and it is a tool I say to get into leaders' heads and then understand what their motivations are.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dr. V, describe yourself in 3 words.
Mm.
I wonder what it is that's stopping me from hearing you.
Let me see. Let me close up some of these windows on my thing because that's what it is. Yeah. So now, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Every time my screen saver comes on, it seems like that's what happened. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna always say that I'm an international best-selling author, but I'm also loving, caring, and supportive.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
What was that fleeting moment in your life that catapulted you to your present self, but certainly could have really gone the other way?
The loss of my youngest sister when she passed away. It changed my life because it was me and her left, and I used to always tell her that because my oldest sister died in 2012, and I was like, okay, it's me and you. We got to finish this thing up. And then when she passed away in 2014, she passed away at the age of 53. She was still young.
Mm. She was
Yeah,
young.
yeah, she was young, and I hadn't retired. I was still working. I was trying to get out of there, retire, so I can spend some time with her. But she passed before I retired, so that kind of it spent me around because, like I said, I know what to do. I was the last one left, So I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So, like I said, we don't had a phone calls, nobody to visit, no phone. So I had a lot of idle time, and I had to find something to do with that idle time.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What are your morning and nightly rituals?
Hmm. Hello, can you hear
Okay,
me?
here I am.
I said yes. I said some prayer in the morning, and the first thing in the morning, and the last thing at night.
Okay.
Hmm.
What is your favorite book, song, and quote, and why?
Hmm. Let me see. Favorite book. I read the Bible a lot. So I guess that would be my favorite book. Quote. Um. Hmm. Let me see. I really remember a lot of quotes. The scripture is, "I can do all things in Christ Jesus who strengthens me." And my song is hmm, I like old music, so I listen to a lot of gospel songs and stuff like that. I can't stand it because, like I said, when you're trying to clear your head or whatever, can't stand a lot of music. And then I like jazz too, jazz and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you a saver or a shopper, and what are your financial strategies?
more of a Well, now I like shopping. I'm not gonna say I don't like shopping, but
Me
I
too.
yeah, I've tried to, I guess in the last couple of years, because I'm trying to minimize, some of the stuff, because you realize that you really don't need all that stuff. If you accumulate a lot of stuff, it's just stuff. And
Hmm. We lost you for a minute.
I said my kids, I said I learned that after my sister passed too, because my niece didn't want all her stuff. And it was it was so heartbreaking because I was looking around in there and saying, my kids gonna do the same thing. They're not gonna want all this stuff. So I started to downsize and get rid of. I donated a lot of stuff to veterans. I used to love, and I love flea markets and yard sales, so I have those as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, our last segment, Dr. V, is asking for your nuggets, what you would give, what advice or tips you would give to a new business owner or entrepreneur, or aspiring business owner.
Okay, so pretty much I think everybody has a book in there, and it's I think everyone should tell their own story because if not someone is going to tell it for you. Um, with books, you can turn it into a business and actually create your own products and brand. So I love being an author. It really opened the door up to me for so many other things, because like I said, it started. Let's look. It has like a snowball effect. You will start writing, you become an author, and then like you now you're doing your podcast. You can do TV shows. You can interview authors. Next up for me is a magazine.
Yes, I have a magazine design in my head too.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's that. Yeah, no, that next step, and like I said, you just went face the fear, forward. You know, I mean, everybody started somewhere. Collaborations is a great way to start.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like from writing in your first book and finding joy in the journey, volume 2. uh I've been in 3 other compilations since then, so I really enjoy it too. And tell everybody listening, how do they reach you, your website and your social media platforms?
Awesome, thank you, and congratulations on all the success with the other collaborations that you were in. Um,
Thank you so much, Dr. V. I appreciate that.
you're welcome. So I'm known as the best-selling book strategist on Facebook and Instagram, and my website is www.bestsellingbookstrategist.com.
Yes, yes. Dr. V's in the house, everybody. And y'all get with her and get your books put out there. I'm gonna reach out to you, Dr. V, and talk to you about this book I got I'm working on. And so let's see how we can get it popping.
I'm here, so like I said, however I can, point you in the right direction, make sure to get it out there. Yep, because like I said, stop sitting on them. I plan to publish quite a few. I'm working on one. I just published a healing journal the other day. So yeah, I got a lot of books.
Nice.
Yeah, just
Congratulations.
sitting in my little library. So I said, let me get these books out of here while it's nice and quiet during the winter months, and then I could turn.
Okay.
Yes, it's time to roll.
Way to go. All
Hmm.
right. Well, tell us so we can get your books on the website that you just said.
Yes, yes, they're out there on my website.
All right. All right, those that website will be on the show notes, and I really do appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me on the News and Use podcast today, Dr. V. We really appreciate you, and much love and abundance to you.
Thank you, and have a blessed and wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace.
Beat and Us LLC. Hip hop with DJ Ben. So you've been enjoying the beats by the host, French Air Gardner. And the other musicians who have submitted their music to a News You Can Use podcast. Your music can be played on the podcast too, globally streamed. Come on now. Email us your MP3 WAV files. Only criteria that you either black or brown, and that your music is positive. Because on the News You Can Use podcast, we promote positivity and vibrating on a high frequency. And so, send in your music. I'll play it. And it'll be fun hearing your podcast. You're hearing your song played on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora and Audible and iBooks and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher. And there's over 30 countries besides the United States are streaming a News You Can Use podcast. So I'm just grateful for you. I'm grateful for all the musicians who sent us music and gave us permission to play their music on our podcast and platform. So send us your music. I'll put the email in the show notes. You can always reach out to us on Instagram on our beandusllc page. That's, the @ B as in beautiful, E as in excellent, A as in and, D as in dance, U as in umbrella, S as in sing, L as in light, L as in love, C as in if you're scared, go to church. Thank you so much to all of our financial supporters of A News You Can Use podcast. I ask that you consider buying me a coffee or becoming a patron of A News You Can Use podcast. What your support does is it helps me to continue to produce and publish episodes, and it's helping me to level up, to buy equipment for the podcast, like microphones and different software that is needed to edit the podcast and make it sound better for you. So I appreciate it if you please buy me a coffee or become a patron, or you can donate directly through the Anchor FM app. And if you give $9.99 per month, I'll receive a higher percentage of your donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you. The links are in the show notes. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of A News You Can Use podcast with Frontier Gardner, your host and creator of the podcast. We are so grateful that you are tuning in wherever you are in the world. Please, please, please make sure you are sharing the podcast
with your friends and family. At least send it out to about 5 people at least. Follow us if you're listening to us on Spotify so that you'll be notified of the next episodes. Add us to your podcast list on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Leaving us a review really helps us out a lot. It helps us to be discovered by more people like you, where this information resonates. Purchase Friendshare Gardner's books. Mommy and Daddy, Do You Still Love Me Anymore? Is available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. For signed copies, go to our website. Finding Joy in the Journey Volume 2 is available on our website. And the audiobook, Single Save Struggle, The Struggle Continues, is available on our website. You can also purchase our brands that we've designed with our paintings on our websites, notebooks, shower curtains, prints of the paintings, pillows, buttons, phone case for iPhones and Android phones, handbags, or rather tote bags, all designed with Friendshare's abstract paintings. They're available on Threadless and Teespring. The music playing in the background is by Friendshare Gardner. You can cop her album or just get one of the singles that you really enjoy on Amazon Music and Apple Music. You can also listen to the album Supernova Universe by Friendshare Gardner on Spotify and SoundCloud. We really appreciate your support. Your financial donations are definitely needed to sustain production of the episodes and the podcast, to continue creating episodes, for purchasing equipment that's needed to run the podcast, to hire editors. So if this episode resonated with you, please consider donating by becoming a patron, by buying me a coffee, by sending us funds through PayPal, paypal.me/Friendshare, that's FRENCHAIRE, or through Cash App, $beandusllc. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you tap in with our sponsors, Amber Bookstore and Omnia Balanced Radiation.